What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so I want to do a video at least recapping today's Game 4 between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic. I remember when we did an NBA NBA playoff preview panel on LB's channel. Shout out to LB. Shout out to LDBC in general. But we did a panel on LB, and I remember James is one of the few ones that really kind of, Nola Boy, that's his YouTube channel. He was one of the few to really talk about how dangerous Orlando could be and how, many people might have been sleeping on Orlando, and that was the case. Orlando delivered that left hook in Game 1 and beat Milwaukee. They caught Milwaukee slipping. But Milwaukee dominated in Game 2, and they also dominated in Game 3. Now, today's game, it wasn't domination per se. Orlando was in this game up until the fourth quarter. In fact, I think I believe the game may have been tied late in the third or going into the fourth quarter. Giannis was dominant as normal, 31 points, I think 15 rebounds, I think he had 7 or 8 assists. This time he had a little help down the stretch. Chris Middleton, who to me is perhaps the worst all-star in NBA history. Okay, seriously, he's at least in the modern era, he's the worst all-star I've ever seen. Especially considering, I hate to be unfair, but considering what this guy gets paid, considering the fact that, the max contract that he signed pretty much forced the Bucks to part ways with Malcolm Brogdon, who I believe is a better overall player. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to shy upon my criticism of Chris Middleton, but he showed up finally in the fourth quarter, finished with like 20 points or so. Came into the fourth quarter only 1 of 9 shooting from the floor. But the Bucks were able to come away with I think it was a 126 to, what was the score? Was it 126 to 105 or 126 to 107 or something in that extent? I think they won by about 20 points. And they now have a commanding 3-1 lead. Most likely, this series is going to come to an end the next game. But Milwaukee cannot just sleepwalk through the game. They got to really cut this team's heart out. Orlando is a dangerous team. Vucevic had a big game, himself. This game, this team, I remember last year coming into the playoffs, they were a very dangerous team. I think they had won something like their last 13 games of the regular season. And then the second half of the season after the All-Star break, I think they led the NBA in defensive rating. And if you remember correctly, in the playoffs, they beat Toronto in their first game of the playoffs. So Orlando is definitely a team that is no pushover. So, the reigning MVP, in my opinion, after this season, he's going to be back-to-back MVPs. Giannis, the most dominant player in the league, leading the way. And hopefully the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm not going to lie, I root for the Bucks. Hopefully the Milwaukee Bucks, able to overcome them and move on to the next round. So, tell me what you guys think.